Hello, everybody, and welcome back to part 7 of Deadly Premonition. I'm actually kind of hooked on this game at the moment, so I just kind of want to actually continuously record this one instead of jumping. It's because I was actually waiting to actually see if one of these would actually get me hooked enough to actually want to continue playing it, and this one's actually doing a good job of that. I mean, I actually got to sit down and play like much game as of late. And besides, like an entire playthrough of almost an entire playthrough of Fatal Bullet, Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet, that didn't record my voice whatsoever the entire playthrough, and it sucked. Had all of the stuff recorded, but that was like a while back. But that was the only thing I had since, that's like the only thing I really sat down to play outside of my streams, and outside of like Integral Factor, SAO Integral Factor on here. Like, this is my first chance to actually sit down, wind up, and actually play some video games. So, yeah. And let's continue. We might be a lot of cutscenes today, so I don't know. We got from chapter 1, chapter 2, so I might not commentate that much because I like hearing the voice acting, and I'm sure you all do too. If I want to say something, if something pops in my mind, I will say it if I see something that I actually want to say it. But other than that, I'll probably keep quiet throughout most of the cutscene until we get to gameplay portions where there's not much talking. Anyway, back to the show. And boom. I don't care if I'm not online. You unable to connect to the internet. Yeah. I don't care. Unable to check whether the software supports backup using cloud, so you may be unable to back up or download save data. Well, thank you. No shit. I'm offline. That's the entire point. I know I made this statement last time I think I played this, but freaking A. I don't care if I can't like upload or download to the save to the cloud feature right now. I updated the game. That's all I need to do. The rest of it doesn't really fucking matter. To be fair. Let's pass the first minute, thank goodness. And the first minute or so, you're not supposed to cuss. I don't really care because I'm not even like monetized right now. And why I would get support right now is through one of the links down below. I'm not going to put too much attention on that. Anyway, so I'm in Nowhere Town. Back in 2019. This whole episode's going to take place back in the future. Got a glimpse of it last time, but I was like, nope, I want to save this for next time because I was getting tired. That's a brand new day, brand new start. The day just started. I just woke up and I want to play.
York, you can hear me.
It's another one of those situations where I can't move anywhere besides the way it wants me to move.
I'm not sad. Honestly, I can't wait. It's all I think about lately. I mean, we'll be together again. We'll get to discuss movies, food again. Everyone around here has bad taste. They don't understand things the way we do. It's a shitty world filled with shitty people. Oh, that reminds me. There are movie theaters and restaurants over there, right? As soon as I get there, let's go grab some peanut butter hamburgers and yogurt smoothies.
Interesting comment.
I'm so excited, York.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I wasn't miss anything like I did last time. First time we did this, I missed.
Please, York, don't rush me. You just need to wait a bit longer. I still have one job left to do. I need to finish it. I have to. Or else I'd never be able to face you. Just give me a little more time, okay?
2019. Townsendville, Massachusetts. Okay, Boston, Massachusetts. Back here again.
So, Lisa's mother, Galena Clarkson, confessed to murdering Lise. But then immediately afterwards, she went insane. So you had no choice but to detain her. What a terribly convenient story. You were the first person to find the suspect hiding at a farm on the edge of town. And you even got her to confess to the crime, right then and there. Did anyone else get a chance to hear Galena's confession?
What are you implying?
Only us.
How did you even find that shack in the first place?
I told you, an oracle pointed me that direction. Oh.
Metaphysical offender profiling.
Meta what? Should I know this word?
This way, so that way I don't get far away from the mic again.
Metaphysical offender profiling. The term appears 6 times in the Lucare report.
6 times, huh?
And 14 times in the 2010 Greenvale report.
14 times, hold on. Force. There might be that many levels.
As long as you're solving cases, the people in charge don't really care what sort of words you use. But we're different. You utilized a highly abnormal method to instantly hone in on a suspect. Then you did it again and again. And every time you used it, one term kept appearing in your files. Metaphysical offender profiling. Mr. Morgan, would you mind explaining to us what this term means?
We could try. But no matter what words we used, you'd never be able to understand. You see, it doesn't pertain to this side. Come, my fairy. Stop hiding back there and give them the explanation they so desire. What? You're too shy?
Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Come on out. Don't be afraid. You can do it. It's okay. Come on. Come on.
Is that all you have to say? Don't underestimate me, Morgan. I know you and the Clarksons share a deeper connection. Much deeper than how it appears on the surface. I need to shake him with something else that's directly connected to the Clarksons. I'm gonna jog his memory by force.
I don't know what this does.
A stack of old letters. These must be the letters that he mentioned in the report. That dragonfly mark proves it. Someone stole Lisa's body and it's been missing for the past 14 years. I find it hard to believe that it was simply hidden in that cold storage warehouse the entire time. Why wasn't a more detailed investigation carried out? Reading over it again, I can't help but notice how well organized this report is. One might even call it perfect. Except some parts have been redacted in an extremely suspicious way. Why are all these places blotted out? Those letters look very old. The postmark suggests they were sent out from Louisiana. And I suspect that dragonfly mark belongs to the Clarkson family.
Maybe. So what if it does?
A stalker has been harassing Patricia Clarkson for several years now. Did you know about this? Constant silent phone calls, unmarked letters. She also spotted a suspicious figure lurking near her mansion several times. And just last week, her employees spotted a strange figure lurking in the vicinity. The day someone else coincidentally used your alias and traveled to Louisiana.
That's very intriguing. Aligned symbolism.
Lise Clarkson also reported being harassed by a stalker just before she was murdered. You're aware of this, correct? Because I didn't find any mention of this in your report.
No direct connection to the case. That's what we must have thought.
The visionary lies to himself, the liar only to others. Which are you?
That's enough for now. This all has nothing to do with the case. Besides, there's no evidence that proves those letters are from her. Isn't that right, my fairy?
Mr. Morgan, I noticed that several parts of this report have been redacted. For example, here. One individual's name has been erased from the key figure list. Would you mind telling me why?
Someone in charge must have thought it was unimportant. Or maybe even inappropriate.
Why would they think that?
How should we know? We've never understood what those people do.
Well, I took the liberty of trying to restore what was taken out. Normal ink was used to blot it out, so I was able to recover part of it. Here's what it says. Sapling salesman. All the other redacted parts seem to be connected to this person. But I can't think of a single reason why this individual would need to be removed from the report.
Question, why would that person be?
Why is he so untouchable?
Oh, him. He's nothing. We were barking up the wrong tree.
Meaning?
Can't include someone who doesn't exist in an official report, now can we?
Doesn't exist? You mean he had nothing to do with the case?
Yeah, you could say that.
Mr. Morgan, according to you, at the beginning of this case, the victim's body was being stored in the warehouse on purpose. Is that the truth? They really put her body there alongside food and other perishables?
It's in the report.
No. The report only says it was stored using the most effective and shockingly inhuman method possible.
If you can think of a better phrase, we're all ears.
The report isn't wrong, you know. In fact, that might actually be the most accurate way of describing it.
Wrong.
It's precise, and it's also kind of poetic, you know?
Wow, Simon.
I was wondering if he was
What's
going to
taking
tell him
you
to
for
shut
a
up or
poet?
actually be surprised. He took the surprise route.
Right?
You two think this is a joke? Lise Clarkson's body was discovered in that cold storage warehouse after 14 long years. If you'd only done a proper investigation, we probably would have found her much sooner. That poor girl.
We still regret the fact that we never got to meet her. We're sorry. From the bottoms of our hearts.
I only hope it didn't happen that way by design.
Will you comfort me? Thank you, my fairy.
Actually, is a fairy falling
I
from
knew
her.
it wouldn't go that easily. Maybe I should try asking my questions in a different way. I could use Agent Jones here.
You can see that you don't need a whole, need to use concentration here to see all the obvious exclamation marks. No, this brings up
Films teach us all we need to know? That's ridiculous. I'd rather read a book than watch a stupid movie. That's the window that faces the street out front. I can tell just from the layout of his furniture. Now I'm surrounded by everything I couldn't see out there. Agent Jones is completely checked out, despite the fact that we're heading deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole here.
It's bugging you, isn't it, Aaliyah?
Huh? What?
I get it. It's bugging me too. It's even got my heart racing a little. I mean, look at this. Nothing but DVDs. Not a single Blu-ray in sight, just pure, unadulterated DVDs. And he's got VHS tapes too.
Spaceballs. That's a good movie. Oh, that's some good taste. Zach New York. That's some good taste.
I don't even have a VHS player in my house anymore.
I think we actually we had to get one recently. So we're gonna we have like a converter. Actually, I think it's a converter that converts VHS to DVD. What it is. Hey, hold up. Or something, or a Blu-ray player. I don't know what that is. On top. It looks like something.
Whoa, look at this. Check it out. This one's got a lot of pizza in it, remember?
You're not wrong, Simon. There's a very large quantity of pizza in that film.
Yes.
1987, directed by Mel Brooks. The version on that tape is the one we recorded back when you could catch it on cable TV.
Nice. I used to do that as a kid sometimes. I had some tapes that were basically made like that I used to watch. And that's technically why I have the converter.
Seriously? Damn, Morgan, that's incredible. You're really living the dream, man.
I hope you both haven't forgotten that this conversation is also being recorded. This is a nice building. Layout isn't bad either. Whew. Must be rather expensive to rent a place like this in Boston. How many other rooms are there in this apartment? That room over there, your bedroom?
Why so curious, Belle? It almost sounds as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Aside from the hardware shop on the first floor, every apartment in this building has the exact same layout. We're well aware that you studied the layout of this apartment before you came to see us. There's no need to act so roundabout. Just be honest. Say it. I want to see your bedroom.
Yeah.
Well then?
Doesn't mean we'll let you see it, though.
Agent Jones, are you paying attention? Or do you intend to waste Mr. Morgan's precious time?
No. Sorry. I'm just a little tired. I'm listening.
Take your hand out of your pocket. Didn't they teach you any manners at Quantico?
Oh, right. Guess they slipped my mind. My bad. I'm actually kinda nervous. I'm not used to this sort of thing. Data analysis is my specialty, you know. I'm sure I'd be able to calm down a bit if I had some pizza, though.
Shameless laugh.
The FBI needs to do something about their lack of personnel. I'll have to ask the questions myself. But how should I start? Maybe I should look back over the files and calmly reassess the situation. An elegant antique lighting fixture. And most of his other furniture is of the same quality. Why is his room such a mess then? This is why instead of calling him a dangerous person, they've labeled him a high-functioning sociopath.
Just the usual around here, no need to worry.
The usual?
Yes. A strange person lives upstairs. Every now and then, he makes noise.
What's strange about him?
Several years ago, a woman was murdered upstairs. Her husband still lives there.
Yikes.
He's ex-BPD, and apparently he's still searching for the killer.
Some police department.
But it seems like they cut all support for the investigation due to decreased funding. The team on the case wanted to keep working on it, but the suits wouldn't hear of it. A tale as old as time. Due to his situation, perhaps, he's been making a lot more noise recently, like you just heard.
You never noticed anything, Agent Jones.
Well, I did hear some loud noises every now and then, but I didn't think they were real noises coming from upstairs. I mean, look at him. It's not like he's reacting to the noise. He always just went about his business as usual for all the years I've watched him.
He was been that Simon's been stalking for years. It's kind of weird. The situation seems extremely weird. Like, why are they wanting to talk to him? Why? Like, there's so many questions.
So I just figured it was coming from the TV.
I should see that. I can see that.
You really amaze me
No,
sometimes.
that actually makes sense, lady. That actually makes sense, lady. That actually makes a semblance of sense. He thought it was the TV. I don't know what the purpose of that is here, so I'm just doing it every so often just because.
After you arrested Galena Clarkson, you had a run-in with the Clarksons. At least that's what it says in the report. What exactly happened there?
Just a simple run-in, that's all. Nothing but a single phenomenon. Chasing hollow instances like that won't lead you closer to the truth. Truth doesn't work like that.
A hollow phenomenon, which resulted in a mountain of corpses.
Oh, Belle. We think we finally understand what you're trying to say. But don't be so voracious. How about another cup of coffee? We've still got a long way to go, you know. Yes, it's coarsely ground, so there should only be 4 teaspoons per cup. No more, no less. Next, the coffee travels from the funnel to the siphon. Simon, normally you only do surveillance in order to gather data, correct? Hiding microphones and cameras, sifting through garbage, wiretapping, shadowing, tracing credit card histories. You'll do whatever it takes to gather data in order to prevent crimes. That's how the FBI works.
Well, yeah, you're right. No reason in hiding it now, I guess. Why do you ask?
Our Southern Belle has adopted a very peculiar MO. It's almost like she has a special power, just like us. You've been watching us this entire time, haven't you, Belle? From that window.
I don't need to answer that question.
You came here on New Year's Eve, then spent 49 hours watching us until you returned to your hotel room last night. You observed us the entire time without sleep or rest. And you only ate once, some pizza delivered by Simon. Aside from that, you never drank any water or relieved yourself. You simply sat there and continued to watch us.
It's impressive, for many reasons.
You have visions, too, don't you? You came here solely to hear us talk, didn't you? But then, why bother watching us for over 2 days beforehand? You didn't come to talk with us. You came because you wanted to see this apartment with your own eyes. And because you're already convinced of something. Isn't that right? He who fights with monsters should see to it that he himself does not become a monster. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you.
But
Oh. Coffee. Thank you, my fairy. If you hadn't been paying attention, this coffee would have all gone to waste. The pus in our brains. It really has a way of interfering with our lives. Didn't remember. She came along. No, what's coffee? Yes, coffee.
Oh. What the Christ? This is friggin' delicious. I thought I was gonna shit myself for a second there. Come on, Aaliyah, take a sip. Trust me. I'm not exaggerating here.
I don't believe it. It's better than any coffee I've ever tasted.
Yay!
Of course it is. Coffee is a sacred drink. Coffee saved us. If not for its oracle, we would be on the other side right now. So I never forget to pay my respects to coffee. Especially at critical moments like this.
Big black cumulonimbus clouds are in the sky. And that sound. Thunder snow is coming.
thunder snow. How many times have I actually seen thunder snow? There's Simon. Picture riding in the sky. And besides that, also, because it indicates that, oh yeah, she has that power too. Besides indicating that.
Ominous. It's almost like a manifestation of the atmosphere in this room right now. Does Agent Jones need pizza in order to calm down? Why does he hate being out in the field so much? He knows we need to be on our absolute guard against this guy. Why can't he just pull it together?
Because he's a data guy. Jeez, shoot him some slack.
If he actually had a hand in this, it would explain why Lisa's body was left frozen for all that time. The body wasn't stolen. It wasn't that he couldn't find it. He just left it there. It's definitely a possibility.
We'll start with that. We'll go nervous time and then we'll go that.
Do you hear that thunder? It's probably gonna snow soon.
We're in Massachusetts. That's the norm for this time of year.
Well, I'm not used to the cold. If possible, I'd like to finish this up before we get stuck in a snowstorm. Agent Jones, after we're done here, Agent Jones, is something the matter? Snap out of it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know.
Do you? Then stop daydreaming.
Okay.
You just what?
Don't like thunderstorms?
My stomach's been letting some thunder loose, too.
Thunder?
That coffee was just so good,
Oh. Coffee poops.
It what? We don't have all day here.
He needs to use the bathroom.
The coffee was just so good, it summoned forth a massive tsunami from within me.
AKA he needs to poop.
Excuse me? What is wrong with you? Now is really not the time for this.
Right door at the end of the hallway.
Thanks, pal. Hold on. You can make it. We can do this. It's not very far.
We promise you, we did not put laxatives in the coffee. Coffee is a sacred drink, remember?
Motherfucker. There's no doubt that the report omitted information linking Morgan to the Clarksons. I need to get him to confess. Oh yeah. That reminds me. There's a secret weapon in Agent Jones's briefcase.
I hate when it's like you can't tell which one's the important one. I should have realized the thunderstorm was the important one. Dang it. Alright. The indulgence is not important.
He's chain smoking it non-stop. He's clearly dependent on it, which means he might be dependent on other drugs as well. Mr. Morgan, I heard that you were always a smoker. Did you ever wonder if that was the reason you contracted your illness?
What does that have to do with this case?
Nothing. I'm just personally curious about it.
Sometimes, people die in car accidents, regardless of how well they take care of their health.
This is true.
Other times, they slip on their bathroom floors and crack open their heads. Isn't that right, my fairy?
I'm not concerned with statistics. I'm just curious about you, right here, right now.
We switched over from nicotine to this. It's less addictive. That's one step in the right direction, isn't it?
Perhaps, if we're talking about withdrawal symptoms or physical dependencies. But it still seems like you're smoking too much at once. Honestly, it looks to me like you have a mental dependency.
Maybe. But so what if we do?
Surely you know about gateway drugs, yes? When a person starts to use one drug, it becomes much easier for them to branch out and try other drugs as well. The first drug acts as the gateway that leads them to stronger substances.
Oh. Are you trying to say that's going to happen to us?
No. I'm simply saying there's a possibility. Agent Jones probably won't be back for a while. Actually, now might be my opportunity to make some real progress. Have you ever seen this before? And please, don't say no.
Sang Rouge. The drug we once chased. What about it?
Sang Rouge is still circulating.
No.
It's changed shape and its composition is slightly different now. But it's still very much alive. But only in a very limited part of Louisiana. You aren't surprised? Did you somehow know this would happen?
Copies of another drug being circulated isn't exactly a rare case.
But Sang Rouge is special. The inimitable Enigma powder, the origin. It has many names, and no one was ever able to copy it. We've also been trying to figure out what it's made from ever since it appeared.
Made from red seeds. 85% chance. The red seeds that were in the first game.
But it's impossible to analyze. After all, it appears to be made from common ingredients that can be found anywhere. But if you try to use those ingredients, all you'll end up with is a mundane hallucinogen like DMT. If you're lucky. No. Sang Rouge requires a special recipe. The original recipe, which someone's been guarding this entire time. Someone who survived the incident in Le Carré.
I think the concentration tells you which one the right one is.
Immediately after they found Lisa's body, I went to go see Patricia. In order to interrogate her, of course.
Patricia. Who's Patricia?
So you told us.
But I was unable to meet with her.
She refused to speak with you, didn't she? That's so like her.
No, she didn't get the chance to. You see, she's gone missing.
Oh shit.
What?
Oh shit.
To put it more accurately, no one's seen her since the afternoon of the 28th. According to her employees, she shut herself up in her room for several months before she disappeared. But since that sort of thing happened often, they didn't think anything of it. On the morning of New Year's Eve, they noticed her window was open, and when they went up to check on her, she was gone. But no one knows how long her window had been open for. This is just my hypothesis, but on December 28th, a strange man visited Le Carré and was spotted near her mansion. That man must have found some way to lure Patricia into his car, the '89 Cadillac that he bought used. Then, the two of them drove north to Trenton, where they boarded a train to Boston. They would have arrived here around midnight on the 29th, or perhaps early morning on the 30th. I believe this man is the same Billy Bishop whose name was previously recorded by the airline. So, what do you think of my guess? I'd love to hear your opinion as a former FBI special agent.
Ah, we get it. We aren't persons of interest. We're the suspects. But what about our alibi?
What alibi? I've had enough of your bullshit. You expect me to believe you haven't taken a single step out of this room? That Agent Jones is your witness? Surveillance cameras can easily be tampered with, especially by someone like you, who knows all about how the FBI works. You're possessed by death. Go and take a look at your own face in the mirror. You look like the Grim Reaper. After you visited both Le Carré and Greenvale, you left a mountain of corpses in your wake. You can make all the excuses you want. I'm immune to them. Right here, right now, I want to know everything. You tell me the truth.
Yes! You're good, Belle. Damn good. You're brimming with potential. Don't you think she's the perfect partner for our last dance? What do you say, my fairy? Don't you agree? She's good. So good. What do you want to know? We've got nothing to hide. Go on. Question us. This is how it's got to be. Doesn't this remind you of something? You know what I mean, my fairy.
Oh gosh. Dun, dun. Leaves. Back in 2005. Back in town. In the sheriff's office.
Son of a... How did this happen in my town? God damn it! The head and limbs were severed and lined up, according to the lines that were drawn with her blood. Just like migratory birds flying systematically across the sky. Hey, Zach, what do you think this means?
They're severed roots.
Severed roots?
This is the way the Clarksons kill someone when they want to cut them off from the family.
And how do you know about this?
Everyone in town knows about it. They're just too scared to talk.
What does the V stand for, then?
Beats me. What, you think I know everything
Well, you
now?
seem to know something.
Vilitatio. It means quarrel in Latin. That's what the V stands for.
Oof.
Latin. Intriguing, isn't it, Zach? There are no defense wounds on the corpse. In other words, Galena showed no signs of resistance when she was amputated.
Oh gosh.
But, strangely enough, there are small traces of subcutaneous bleeding around the wounded areas. That's a vital reaction, which means she couldn't have been dead.
Oh gosh.
You mean...
Yes, that's right, Patty. Galena was amputated while she was still alive, and she never resisted.
Is that even possible?
It certainly isn't impossible. For example, if she was put to sleep with a drug, or if she desired the amputation herself.
Why would she ever desire that?
Mr. York, I'm sorry, but there ain't no way that could have happened.
How can you be sure of that, Melvin? Our world contains phenomena that could never be explained with logic. This is especially true for phenomena in which humans are involved. Do you really think all the facets of love and hate can be explained with logic?
Well, no, I don't reckon I do. Yeah, might be too early to rule out those possibilities, just like you say.
Zach, now we truly know just how deeply the Clarksons are involved with this. Patty, how long does it take to reach the Clarkson estate?
Just a short drive. You just gotta head west along the Mississippi. You can't miss it.
Got it. Thank you, Patty. By the way, Melvin, no matter how accelerated Patty may be, don't you think she's still a bit too young to see something like this? For the record, I have no intent to instruct others on how to raise their children, but...
Holy moly, you're right! Patricia, CLG! Come on, sweetie. Kids shouldn't have to see stuff like this.
Daddy, it's too late now.
Oh, yeah, that's Patricia. Okay. I kind of forgot her name for a moment. I was thinking it might have been her, but I was like, I forgot her name. Severed Roots. Let's see, our main quest. There's 3 potential places to go. Joy, we gotta do this again. I like this little chart though. It seems interesting. Let's talk to Melvin.
You sure you okay, CLG?
I'm fine. Besides, I'm used to seeing stuff like that on CSI. You're the one who looks pale, Daddy.
Well, it did shake me up a little. But I'll be back to normal in no time. Sorry about that, Mr. York. What say we rest in the interrogation room till we all calm down, CLG?
Sure thing, Daddy. I'm gonna go sit with Daddy for a bit, Agent York. We can join back up later.
Okay. Sounds good. Alright.
Galena killed her daughter, so her family cut ties with her. Do you really think that's what happened here, Zach? If this is truly the ritual that the Clarksons use to cut ties with someone, why would they go out of their way to do it here, in a holding cell? They could have easily done it after we released her. And judging from how Danny Clarkson was acting, I think it's clear that he really loved Galena. How could he accept this grotesque butchering, even if it was for the sake of the family? There's no point in ruminating on this. We should get back to the investigation. As long as we keep moving, the answer will inevitably fling itself straight at us.
Well, I guess we're just out of here. We can't go into the tape. Alright, cool. Did it. The stuff hasn't happened yet. What was my inventory last time? I think pretty full. 165 bullets. That makes sense. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. I guess it works. Also, I think the flies are finally gone. They're annoying. It's also good to know where I can buy my main supplies now. So that's why I haven't been able to find my main supplies. Also, you can fish 3 chests and earn cash and items. You can accept only 3 free quests. Interesting. 24 hours. See, this at a time. Okay. Here's some free stuff. Okay, look for the bead, look for the bead. Look for the beads, just beads. All the beads. I don't need beads. I need stuff to stop beads. Squirrel got in house to screw everything takes out before it eats. Okay, the devil currently. We have 24 hours to accept these quests if you need them. Look at my side quests. Alright. They're still as active as ever. I don't know what I mean by that because the quest is still active apparently. Okay. One squirrel. 1B. and a wild dog. Okay. There are 24 hours to do that. My friend. There he is.
You found the flying serpent. But now, the flying serpent will come to find you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that sounds right. And it looks like this flying serpent is a venomous one.
Some become feasts, while others are eaten alive.
Dun, dun, dun.
Which fate would you prefer?
Both sound marvelous, but let me check with Zach.
A fine answer. Find the one who fired the pistol at heaven. Within the white hall of beds, brandish the ticket to the goddess. And once again, you will see the other world. Do you comprehend the oracle?
Zach, it looks like he's hell-bent on leading us back into that other world.
Follow the oracle.
Oh, I will, Hungan. There are only two types of things in our world. Things that should be resisted and things that should be accepted. And I believe this oracle is something to accept.
Yay. And he disappears. So now I gotta actually figure out what these are. Person again, since we saw it on the previous work.
Do you think we're crazy for believing everything that skeletal gentleman says?
A little A, a little B.
No, we're not crazy. Not one bit. This is our destiny, that's all. But I shouldn't need to explain that to you, Zach. The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Kane. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M1877 up at the sky. Oh, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that. It's got to be for some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach? Unfortunately, Zach, you're wrong. We need to find someone who fired their pistol straight at the sky. The one who fired the pistol at heaven. Firing pistols at the sky might be a rather common occurrence for the South. Remember? Young Guns, 1988, directed by Christopher Kane. There's that great scene where Emilio Estevez keeps firing his Colt M1877 up at the sky. Oh, but that film took place in New Mexico, didn't it? And the Oracle probably isn't referring to a situation like that. It's got to be for some purpose other than an attack or a threat. Raising a pistol up to the sky, then slowly pulling the trigger, kind of sounds like the start to a race. Don't you agree, Zach? Bingo, Zach. We're currently running a race here, and the one who started this murder investigation is indeed the one who fired the pistol at heaven. In other words, the person who first discovered the body. According to the files, Lisa's body was discovered by Chuck Thompson, a crawfish farmer. He apparently works out of a fishing hut located in the marshes south of the bayou. Let's go pay him a visit. Who knows? We might even get to see some crawfish. What? Why isn't the murderer the one who started this race? Zach, this isn't like you. Of course the murderer isn't the one who started the race. The murderer's running it. They're currently in first place, and they're breaking all the rules. Any more objections, Zach? Within the White Hall of Beds. This one is even easier. There are only a few establishments that have a whole hall's worth of beds. Especially in a small town like this. I'm sure you've already got a pretty good idea about what the answer is, Zach. Beds all lined up. Only an amateur would hear that and think it must be referring to a brothel. I mean, come on. Who would ever use White Hall as a symbol for a bordello? No, a white house refers to the same place no matter what country you're in. Disinfectant, jars of medicine, and white smocks. That's right. It's a place where people dress in all white, and this town doesn't have any labs in it, which means there can only be one answer.
Wait. The White Hall of Beds.
You never disappoint me, Zach. It's a medical facility. They invite their patients into rooms full of beds, where they're tended to by doctors and nurses clad in white. It's definitely a White Hall, where people are invited into beds. You always manage to impress me with your intuition.
Good.
I'm really counting on you here, Zach, and I know I'll always be able to.
Agent York, you're trying to leave without your trustworthy assistant?
Hello there, Patty. I'd never attempt such a thing. I was simply engaging in a battle of wits with Hoongan while I waited for you.
Hoongan?
Yes, the skeletal gentleman in the top hat.
Not that story again. Is this how you always conduct your investigations?
This is the way I work.
I bet you can't find a single partner. Not even in the entire FBI.
That's not true. I always work together with Zach.
Oh, right. Zach.
Right, Zach.
Don't worry. I'll be your partner while you're here in our town. Now, let's go investigate.
Investigate. Win. Investigation. Investigation. 2 goals. We got here. Missions. We have 24 completed other missions. Paid for them. So let's see if we can do this first. Do we just have to kill a bee or a squirrel? I know where bees are. I know where the bees are. you still terrorizing people who not supposed to stop. Boom. Dead. I don't know if they're supposed to be like a certain location though. Well, squirrels only shine at night though, so I don't know. Finally about to make some progress though.
Ugh!
How's your mama? So, you're that hotshot FBI agent I keep hearing about.
And who might you be?
I came to claim the body of my daughter. My daughter, who was murdered in a holding cell after you detained her yesterday.
Zach, I wasn't expecting to run into the final boss this early. You must be the head of the Clarkson family, P.J. Clarkson. And you've come to claim the body of Galena Clarkson, whose dismembered corpse was found early this morning. Is that correct? Where did you learn that Galena had been murdered? Zach and I just learned of the news ourselves.
This is Luke Corey. And I am P.J. Clarkson. There ain't a single thing I don't know about this town.
I see. So then you must also know about the Severed Roots ritual. I have a question for you, Philip. We suspect that Galena was murdered by someone from the Clarkson family. Have you given that possibility any consideration?
Listen up, you FBI piece of shit. You better watch your manners around my pa.
Shut up, Daniel.
But, sir... My bad, sir.
I'll have you know I once had 3 children. But I must not have raised them very well, because my son and my eldest daughter both ran away and never came back to me. The only one who stayed by my side was my second daughter, Galena. Then she done married Daniel here into the family and presented me with both an heir and a granddaughter. Seemed for a while as if things were finally starting to calm down. But then, someone corrupted both Galena and Lise. And I lost everything. Aside from my shit-heel son-in-law, that is. You understand me, FBI?
Galena's death is nothing but a loss for the Clarkson family.
That doesn't mean the Clarksons are automatically innocent, though. Humans don't always act out of self-interest, do they?
That mouth. You're starting to sound more and more like your mother. We're leaving, Daniel.
What? But my treasure...
Now, whether you end up being an angel or a demon, I reckon you're the man I've been waiting for all this time. Once you finish that autopsy, and we're clear to take her home, I want you to give me a call.
They're phenomenal, Patty. So perfectly rural. Ominous statements, foul-mouthed insults. This town possesses a complicated system of communication that you just can't find in the city.
Wow.
Work-centric emails are so cold and lifeless. This is what true human connections feel like. Connections as visceral as blood itself.
So, Agent York, what's next on your agenda?
The last boss may have gotten the jump on us, Patty, but I didn't let him shake my resolve. I intend to obey the skeletal gentleman's oracles, and that's that. First, we should head to either the home of the person who discovered Lisa's body or to the town's medical facility. Well, Zach, what do you think?
I'll make sure. I'm looking. You know what? It is right. Mission. Yay! Neat. Came back over here.
Looks like a case of bad timing, Zach. Let's come back later.
That's Patricia? I know your name. Important. You okay there, Patricia? Yes. Thank you, fine. Alright. Portal. And oh, I know what I'm trying to do. Funky smart.
Were you thinking about Galena too? And all the other women we've seen so far on our travels across the states? Zach, I'm right, aren't I? This is a vast country. Incredibly vast. And it's mostly composed of mountains, deserts, and farmland, with small towns scattered about here and there. That's how America looks to me. Compared to the scale of this entire country, New York, Chicago, and LA are all microscopic. Sometimes they even feel like figments of my imagination. Think back to what Las Vegas looked like when we were driving up I-15. It was a mirage. But TV and movies dress up those mirages and broadcast them to people all around the world. Meanwhile, American women become fascinated by the gorgeous city lights and are drawn toward those illusions. The very same women who were chosen as prom queens in their small towns. In the end, all they find are ghosts. Once their eyes adjust to that blinding light, they realize there's nothing but vanity and lust surrounding them. They finally figure out that it was all in their heads. Then they quickly try to satisfy themselves with something else. Drugs. And drugs are the gateway to a whole pantheon.
Anyway, okay.
Okay, Zach. It's time to put our skills to the test.
Look.
Well, Zach, it seems as if we've reached an impasse. I'm afraid we won't be able to proceed any further like this.
Zakari Tiger to DC Eagle? Is everything alright?
Hello, Melvin. Sadly, my darling just gave out on me.
Your darling? You mean...
Yes, that's right. My beloved skateboard. I know the chances are slim, but do you happen to know of any establishments in town that can repair skateboards? Please, I hope this doesn't offend you. Neither Zach nor I would ever dare to assume that a remote country town like this would have a skateboard shop in it. But perhaps you have at least one eccentric who likes to tinker with them in their spare time.
I know just the person. Double bass player by night, trick master by day. God blessed her with 2 talents, and her name is Emma Sanders.
Emma?
That's right. She's Pastor Sanders' adopted daughter, and was also Lise Clarkson's best friend. Emma really knows her stuff. She's got tools and a mountain of parts, so I'm sure she'll be able to help.
I owe you one, Melvin. Zach, I never thought we'd find our very own skateboard mentor out here in the sticks. Let's head straight to Emma. What is it, Zach? Why didn't I just ask the sheriff to tow away the old cars? But isn't it obvious? I want to overcome this obstacle using my own strength. In fact, I want to soar over it.
I'm a skateboarder. Oh. Be the closest spot. You know, I might end up taking a small break, and we'll continue this in just a moment. Only reason I want to take a small break is to probably use the restroom and stuff, but other than that, it's like, I shall be right back. Also, I like keeping these between an hour and 2 hours. I don't have a specification if they're an hour or 2 hours. I like keeping them about that long. So, yeah. I think we'll take a small break here. I'll run 1,500, 500 feet that way. So we'll see you guys. See you on the next one. So until then, stay safe. Be sure to wear a mask. And if you're still watching this in COVID times, be sure to wear a mask or whatever. Hopefully COVID times end soon. But yeah, we're at the end of January almost, and it hasn't ended yet. So whatever. Anyway, see you all next time. Check out the links in the description if you want to actually support me in any way. Basically, also be sure to subscribe, bell, all that other stuff. And here comes the boot.